well, it bodes well for the rallycross, eh?
Ibiza Shooter only really lost that as well at the end of the stage, and I mean, 3 seconds back is the gap. So you say that really, no big mistakes from anyone on that run. I think you've got to call that. All minor mistakes, I'm sure, would have made the difference in that 7.
Over the course of 4 miles, you know, that's
great.
That's very impressive
in those conditions. Yeah, and and in sim mode, don't forget, you've got to try this game if you know how hard it is to get that job done.
Yeah, anyone at home saying, "Oh, this is really easy to do," try this game in sim mode and try and replicate the times you've just seen on the screen. Just a whole lot of nope.
Well, we've got all of the replays here, I believe, coming up as well. So we'll bring those up as well as soon as we can. They're actually all from Bam Jason, I believe. So we'll get to see a lot of his point of view and exactly how he constructed that win, gentlemen. And then this is going to be a chance for you to maybe look at exactly how he approached this rally and how he executed it so well.
For me, just a better push. We're not necessarily seeing the best points of the stage here, but more use of the width of the road, more use of the dynamics of the car, the weight of it and the way it handles. You know, he was transitioning the car a bit more between the corners. I felt there was more flow to it. You'll hear a driver will say, "I had the feeling." And if I couldn't,
they can't explain it either.
No, they just I just had
happened.
the feeling. And when you have the feeling, it means you feel completely at one with the car, and you're able to move it around underneath you and crack on. You know, so. Yeah, there was a much better performance in the second stage than the first one from all the guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, what we've done now, gentlemen, we've finished off our rally for the day. That is, I believe, the last rally stage. So only a rallycross to come, and it's going to be rallycross that's coming up next. So let's have a quick look at the format and get you all up to speed if you're just joining us for the first time. Rallycross, the prelims, 6 laps per race. 6 cars will be in each race as well, and then we'll get divided into 2 finals. The bottom 3 cars will go into final B, where there's less points available. First place will only get 6 points. However, the top 3 cars from the prelims will go into the final. In the A final, position number 1 will, of course, take home those big 12 points. And we've already seen how close it was back on the PC. 2 players stuck on the same amount of points. And gentlemen, this is where I'm looking forward to this one, potentially just from how close we've seen these lobbies, especially the second lobby so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like I would imagine a few of these are watching us here, because we may have called them out for their lack of pace. And again, I use that so loosely because they are these are the best in the world.
Comparatively,
yeah, of course. And you just seen a couple of those guys step it up, and I was like, it was all 4. Like, Bam Jason was incredibly fast, and then there was 6 seconds separating all 4 of those guys. So moving into the rallycross, it's almost a bit of urgency that they needed, and there's a big prize at stake. We keep mentioning that.
I think that's a really good point that you actually raised. Rallycross is going to raise the urgency of these players. Obviously, they've been sat in that lobby. They might be competing against each other, not aware of what had gone on in the other lobby. There's always that potential for them not to be paying attention to those particular times and not watching the stream. So they might have thought they've done their jobs. Now they might find themselves in a position. They've opened the stream. Welcome if you are just joining us, of course. And they've thought, we're going to have to really go balls to the wall here and pedal to the metal to get those points and make sure that, firstly, we get into that A final, because if they find themselves in the B final, there might not be enough points on offer for them to get into the semi-final. I said final a lot then.
Yeah, well, we've seen a couple of not the favourites, from the rally stages sneak through rallycross. Kamikaze being one of them. The 2 G2 guys.
Dirk didn't quite make it, as we said.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we've seen a lot of people make moves. It's almost like golf. The third stage is the moving day for these guys, and that happens to be rallycross.
Equal points available on both, at the end of the day, and I think that the fact that on the rally you're on your own and you can't influence anybody else's performance, and also you can make up some time in the second stage. In the rallycross, if you have a bad prelim, you don't make the main final, so immediately you've limited the number of points you can get. So if you had a bad rally, you have got to make it through to the main final, because you need those 12 points. So yeah, it's there's equal points available for the 2, but it's kind of different tactics between the 2 disciplines.
Completely agree.
Lobby's getting ready here, gentlemen. We're going to get into our first session of Rallycross very, very shortly. You can see the players in this lobby. We have Cygenic, we have Quinto, we have Nicholas Olsson, we have Jose, and of course the man who's impressed us, arguably impressed me most so far in the PS4 lobby, that man, Zombie Slayer at the bottom. He's going to be the one to watch for me, gentlemen. Would you agree with that?
I think so. I mean, he was absolutely the man in terms of the rallying, although we have seen some people cross between the 2 disciplines and just not do quite such a good job when they've got into the other one. You've got to have racecraft. The ability to work with other cars, and you've got to have an understanding of what to do with the Joker lap. Whether you take it on the first lap or whether how you tactically use it, and whether you get forced to take it. Both these tracks we've seen in Lowiat, we've seen people spun around, and we see this again in real rallycross. That turn 3 braking zone is a big point for contact. You see people spun around. There's no point in coming back on the main track. You might as well get a big push on and crack on into the Joker lap. Same in Norway. You can end up getting forced into it on the first corner. So there's a lot to rallycross. It's not just getting out there and thrashing 6 laps round. In terms of a weekend, if you're doing a week, it's got to be perfect. Every qualifying race, the semi-final, the final, you've got to absolutely knock it out of the park to get it done. So
definitely.
But if he's as good at rallycross as he was at rallying, if he's our next 60-yard 333, pow, well done.
More power to you. Anyway, we're going to get into the lobby. It's loading in the background. We're going to see our first amount of rallycross. But Luke, I hear that you might be leaving us.
I've got to go.
Do you know what? Yeah. I'm going to give you a handshake. Thank you so much for your contributions today. You've been absolutely fantastic. We'll wait until the game loads up so that you don't just disappear out of camera shots, so that we keep it looking nice for all the people at home. But
I apologise, but I've got to go home.
We've learned a lot about you as well.
Just
driven into a paella shop.
Yeah, slated me for 5 days, hours. Hours.
Hours, yeah. It feels like that.
It's been great fun. I really do appreciate you guys having me here. And hopefully I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Great having you along. Safe journey home, mate.
We hope so too. And we're 53 seconds away. You're 53 seconds away from being able to run out of the door, and it's literally run.
What shall I sing then?
That's your choice, dealer's choice.
What's your deadline? Is it where do you need to? How long have you got to get?
I have got to get to.
Don't give out your address on screen.
I've got 46 minutes to get across London, basically.
Loads of time.
Run it.
Loads of time.
Easy. Have you seen? I'm like an athlete underneath all of this bodysuit.
Go on, dude.
Anyway, we're getting closer and closer to our first stage, our first prelim in the rallycross, gentlemen. Last few races now of the evening. It has been a long evening, but it has been an exciting one so far. The Dirt World Championships has got off to the start we probably wanted it. We all wanted it to. We've seen a lot of talent in the lobbies. It's always good to see 36 whittled down. Of course, 6 from each platform will be going through to our semi-finals in a couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for these names, because as the competition whittles down, the competition gets fiercer. Luke, we're going to let you leave, because now we're going to hand over to the main man next to me, Andrew Coley, to take over the commentary for this one. It's a solo cast, Andrew. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to this. Sorry to see that Luke's got to go. We hope to see him again soon. I believe it was Olsson who we were riding with away from the line. Some interesting car choices here. It is Niklas Olsson. So leading in the focus. Behind him, we've got several Seat Ibithas. Cryogenics. So Cryogenics gone with the Ibiza. It was Cryogenics, who we saw using the unusual car choice of going for the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 6, and has gone with the car choice which has proved more popular across the rallycross part of this game. So Niklas Olsson 20 leading in the Ford Focus RS. Again, we have seen that used once, but we haven't seen it out front in quite the way that we're seeing it out front now. So okay, in fact, there is in front of him there is somebody. So what happened to Olsson? Why is that somebody who's going to get lapped? That's interesting. I thought Olsson had led from the line, so maybe I've completely missed something and messed it up on my own straightaway. That's why we need Luke. But as I say, he's currently sprinting across London. So Niklas Olsson, car right up close behind him, didn't see enough of the grid to be able to tell you exactly who it is, but they're going to try and make a pass. Good traction for them on the exit of the last corner. They're up the inside on the way into turn 1, but the next one's a left-hander. Olsson hooks a wheel into the gravel trap on the outside, manages to hold on though, and now down to the braking zone. Should be safe. The Ibiza has a look up the inside. Olsson on the handbrake to get the car rotated. The Ibiza's gone Joker, so straight into the Joker lap for the Ibiza, and that is in an attempt to try and hold on to the position. We've got the white Ibiza in there as well, who I'm still confused as to whether they are in front or as to whether they're a lap down. But that is my bad. We'll just carry on with this until the end of the race and find out then. So, Cryogenic here, as I say, either in the lead or a long way back, not quite sure. Around through the left-hander and heading down the straight now, coming down. Watch for the bump here at the end. And again, this is so true to life. The drivers all say to me, if you don't brake just before that bump, then you cannot get the car turned in. So you've got to get on the brakes. The bump makes the car go light, and that can cause all sorts of problems in the braking zone down into the hairpin. Jose M29CR was P3 on the grid. Looks like it's worse than that now. So maybe as Joker, and of course we'll have to wait for the Joker lap strategies to play out through this one. We've got another couple of laps to go as they blast back over the start-finish line. Jose lining up a pass on the car in front. Tidy on the exit through turn 1 into turn 2. Needed a bit more throttle through there, and now needs to have a look up the inside. He's going in deep on the handbrake. Wow. Is he going to take the Joker? No, takes a stand out. A little bit of contact. It's side by side, though. For me, that's probably okay. If you're 100% up the inside of the car in front and you have door-to-door contact, you can normally get away with that. Oh, and a little tag there. Was that payback for the previous move? Okay, so all happening further down the field here as we approach the end of the first of the prelims. Fantastic sound. Listen to that. You can hear the throttle cut and the exhaust popping and banging just like you can if you're in attendance at the real races. Into the Joker lap. We're looking at Oscar Quinto, but it's Olsson who's gone into the Joker. Watch for Olsson on the inside, over the crest, through the chicane. Olsson is going to drop back here behind. Comes out just behind Quinto. Big cut over the curbs on the inside. Somehow manages to hold on in the focus. All the way around the long right hand, Oscar Quinto over the line. Zombie Slayer down. It looked like Zombie Slayer might have been down in P4, or it was. So
wow,
it was
a real surprise.
Yeah, and it was Cyogenic who took the win. So that's my bad. Completely Cyogenic was leading, and we were following on with Olsson on the rear view camera. So I missed the fact that Cyogenic was in the lead. Great win there, and it was Cyogenic, of course, who'd taken the unusual car choice earlier on.
I was about to say,
yeah,
not the strongest performance in the rally side of things, but coming through in the rallycross.
Yeah, chose the Ibiza and absolutely.